My name is Matty Croxton. Welcome to our garden. Let's take a look around. Let's go. All right, it's the first week of June, 2025. Let's see what's blooming today. This is our garden here in North Alabama. We're in zone 7B, actually 8A. 8A, 7B, we're right on the line. This is a garden we've been building for six or so years. Bought this house in 2018. There was basically nothing here in the yard but some trees and a few shrubs in front of the house. Decided to make it a little piece of paradise, and it's always changing. Absolutely always changing. I'm always getting ideas, standing back and staring, looking at it, seeing where I need color, seeing what's blooming when, and what does better where, in the shade and in the sun. Got this little walkway here. This is the front of the house. We just came through that walkway. Got some awesome guacamole hostas there. Got some Everillo Carex, Everest Carex right there. Got a native azalea in there. Of course, you got to have some big leaf hydrangeas. We got that's an endless summer bloom struck right there with some guacamole heucheras around it. Over there we got a summer crush hydrangea. We've got a couple more hydrangeas back there. Canna lilies for some height in the summer. This is kind of a part shade area. We're under the shade of a big old pecan tree right here. And it is big. And it is messy, but we love it. I like to sit out here in the mornings, drink coffee. If you're wondering what all these plants are, man, after doing this for six years, it's hard to remember all of the cultivars and varieties. We can start right here if you want. We got some Brigadoon St. John's wort right at the front of the bed. That's a little spreading evergreen ground cover that's just awesome. We got some sun patiens. We got some daylilies. More of that Carex, a great pop of chartreuse and yellow. In the background of this bed, starting with some emerald green arborvitaes in the back, strategically placed there in front of the blank spot on the front of the house. And actually, that holly right there in the center is the only holly that's left in front of this house. There was 3 more when we bought the place, and they were about as tall as the house. There's some azaleas in here that were here, and they were about 6 feet tall. Cut those back to the ground, let them flush out. Back there in the back, we've got some Goshiki osmanthus. Those lighter green. Goshiki translates to 5 colors, I believe. Got some tall phlox in there. Sweet Summer Surprise, I think. This is actually a new addition to the front. That's the Eclipse hydrangea. That's the new purple foliage, almost black foliage on that plant. I've actually moved that. I put another video up planting that in front of the house, but decided it had a little too much sun, a little too much cold winter air. It didn't do too well over the winter, so we put it in a more sheltered location. Got some coneflowers here that I planted one powwow white coneflower here a few years ago. It's popped out some seedlings that look pretty much just like the native Echinacea purpurea. Let those go to seed. Got a candy corn spirea. It's a little one. Looks like someone started that from a rooted branch. Must have been me. All right, that driveway will eventually get replaced. Probably gonna do gravel, but there's this other little bed here. The whole point of this lawn, actually, the whole point of this garden was that I hate mowing grass. Grass is useless. It's good for playing football on, I guess. But it really does nothing else for the environment and critters. Let's plant stuff that helps the world go around. Got a little dwarf. Couldn't tell you what that was called. Bought that in Nashville. More sun patiens, more daylilies. We got some fire witch dianthus down there, waiting on that to fill in. Oh, there's so much here. How long is this video going to be? All right. Front beds. Designed these front beds to kind of separate the house from the road, give a little more privacy up there in the yard. You see these front beds got some shrubs in here. A little sunshine ligustrum, a little loropetalum, little blue star junipers, and more dianthus. A lot of creeping phlox in here. Got clumps of creeping phlox that show out in the spring. We got some, that's an Anna's Magic Ball right there. Just planted that last year. Hostas, more sun patiens, more candy corn spirea. Love that plant. It's a great pop of gold, orange in the garden. Sometimes I just stand back here, I stare, look at it, decide where I need more color. Every color. There's no color theme. Built this arbor this spring. Byron and I decided to plant some Native American wisteria on it, which has done really good. Got one on each side. This is a mailbox I restored. Mid-century mailbox. Made this post out of a cedar tree I cut down that was just not in the right place, but get that cool little post on an angle there. Everyone loves that. Let's go across the front beds. Let's show off these boxwoods. So these little pom-poms, dark green, these little pom-poms, got one on each side. These were here, but they weren't pom-poms. They were just big blob, round ball boxwoods. And over the years, I've selectively pruned out some branches and turned them into little trees. And they're just awesome. Got big clumps of tall phlox right here, which is actually been going to seed. This is a purple phlox, but it's making some pink babies back there. Always like to save this spot in the front right here for some annuals.
Your garden, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Now you're on camera. That happens a lot. I'm thankful. I'm glad that people enjoy the art as much as I do, as much as we do, because if we didn't want anyone to see it, we would have built it out in the middle of the woods. We didn't want other people to enjoy it, because we sure enjoy it. These big green clumps are all creeping phlox, different colors. Great ground cover. They bloom in the spring. Then they get done blooming, and we let the other plants take over and steal the show. Got these clumps of variegated liriope. Just love those for texture. Great plants. Great plants. We got some going bananas daylilies in there. Proven winners. Got some proven winners Supertunia Bordeaux's in there. More candy corn spirea. Got some purple phlox in the background. Got some irises. Got a little bench that good friends gifted us to put in the garden. Thanks, Joe and Tracy. Got a little Angelina sedum in there. More dianthus. The blues are not blooming right now. That's the dianthus. That's Lola. Hey, Lola. That's Raphael's dog. He lives 2 houses up. All right, so we're walking across the front here. As you can see, we've got pathways everywhere. Right here, we've got this kind of half shade garden planted under this red bud. That's a native red bud right there. So we've got some hydrangeas in here. We got some hostas in here. Davidii phlox, I believe. There's a pathway. Eventually that'll be gravel. You can only do so much. There's a volunteer echinacea that popped up. Did not plant that. Didn't plant the white one either. There's a white one hiding back there. There's some canna lilies. There's a dogwood seedling I'm letting grow until I can figure out where to move it to. Nightlight Chamaecyparis. More phlox. More creeping phlox. And what's that? Creeping Jenny. Some bird planted a creeping Jenny in here and it's kind of just trailing through, which is fine for now. Got little wrought iron arbors here. There's one on the other side. It's got a clematis on it. This one's actually planted up with a purple climbing rose. That's your fire witch dianthus. That one's reblooming pretty good. There's 3 plants. Kind of plant them close together, then they turn into a little clump. All right, which way are we gonna go? Let's see. Let's go through the front bed. Here's Creeping Thyme, courtesy of Larry Spencer at Plant Life Nursery, Rome, Georgia. Go see Larry. Great plants, great guy. More Sunshine Ligustrum. I like to prune them into little shapes, little topiaries, little balls. You can see, leave some space underneath them. This is kind of a work in progress here. You can see the lawnmowers for decoration, but everything else is eventually going to be planted up, or a fish pond, maybe. This is a little pink stellar dogwood. It's doing pretty good. It's probably 12 feet, 10 feet high right now. Put that in the ground a couple of years ago, and actually the cicadas almost destroyed it last year. We've got these here. Bordeaux petunias. More creeping phlox. Irises. Coneflowers. I think that's Adobe orange. Look, more visitors. Garden tour. Garden tour. All right. This is a gray owl juniper. Did not buy this as a pom-pom, but now it is a pom-pom. We got this bed. This is where it all began, right? Right here, I planted a little spot of roses about 6 years ago. They're not really blooming right now. And then the bed just kind of started growing around it. Started planting and planting and planting. Good friends brought me those chairs. Got to fix those. Those are super cool. Mariah and Marcy brought me this flamingo that does awesome things in the wind. Thanks, girls. This is probably one of my favorite spots in the whole yard. We got some cannas in the back. We got some peonies back there that bloomed. We got a big hydrangea. We got a limelight hydrangea that's going to bloom. Got a orange rocket barberry. A bunch of Asiatic lilies. Man, if you plant one, you're going to have 30 of them. Here's all the coneflowers. This started as just a few plants. It's kind of turned into about 100. Got every color in here. The coneflowers are breeding with each other and making babies, doing their thing. Hollywood junipers. Got a few of these in the yard. Just love their shape. Just absolutely love those Hollywood junipers. There's one over there on the left. There's another one there in front of the house by the window. Here's a weird one in a pot that I kind of turned into a topiary. And some vintage patio chairs that I restrapped and repainted. And this is actually a Forever Goldie arborvitae. I've made it kind of weird and funky too. I've limbed it up, kind of hard to see. What else we got here? Little lemon cypress. I didn't think it would make it in our zone, but it did pretty good this past winter. And this is where it starts to get a little more ugly. Unfinished, kind of work in progress. It's kind of where I store the plants, pots. Got some bee balm. Bees do love it. More limelight hydrangeas. Let's look at this spot. We got clumps of phlox over here. Tall phlox about to bloom. We got dianthus, superstar. This spot right here. Got some kind of sedge that was in this soil that I got. It's very problematic. It pops up everywhere. Got to figure out what to do. This is a primal scream daylily about to bloom. More coneflowers I did not plant. But if you plant one, you let them go to seed, you will have a lot of coneflowers. Who doesn't love free plants? You see all the different colors in here. We got oranges and whites and pinks, and there's a phlox. More phlox. I love phlox. There's a clump of phlox. Carta, maybe. Can't remember. Sunglow barberry, maybe? More phlox I did not plant. Kind of letting it go to seed. Oxalis triangularis, purple oxalis. Like I said, this is kind of a work in progress bed right here. I think I'm gonna do some irises in here for next year. Ooh, little Crimson Queen Japanese maple. Doing good, and then part sun here. More of those Tropicana canna lilies. Absolutely love those. Pretoria, I think. Some catmint, some echinacea. Some coreopsis. My brother brought me one plant. Now I have 7 or 8 right here. Kind of going crazy. That's a native plant. This bed is getting overrun with some crazy weeds. I don't know what those are, but they spread like crazy. Got to figure that out. That's a walnut tree. That can't stay there. But look at these coneflowers. Look at all the colors. Yellows, oranges. There's visitors over there. Gotta go say hi to them. That's a dead Forever Goldie arborvitae I kind of ignored last year. Oops. More coneflowers. A blackberry that the birds planted. More coneflowers. It's a purple smoke bush, smoke tree. Doing pretty good. Got some big leaf hydrangeas in here, but I think this area just stays much too dry under the shade of this dogwood and this longleaf pine and this sugar maple or this black maple. I just think the ground is a little too dry for a lot of stuff. Love the leaves on that purple smoke tree. All right. The back side of this front flower bed. Sorry if I'm shaky. I'm just doing this on a whim. Oh, what's that sucker called? Autumn moon? August moon hosta? More big leaf hydrangeas that I didn't protect enough during a late freeze, so they're not really blooming right now. Got a great little arbor here. My good friend Charles built that for us so he could do prom photos for their daughter, and then he said, you can keep the arbor. Wasn't that nice? Got a David Austin generous gardener climbing rose, kind of in between blooms right now. Got a awesome little bell. Yep, I drive a Fox Body Mustang. But you know, it's not all pretty all the time. Got bags of mulch. Got crap everywhere. There's a hand truck. And random stuff everywhere. Boxes of tiles. More comb flowers I did not plant. Love them. Got a bunch of daylilies. When I first planted this bed, I just bought a bunch of daylilies. That one's called South Seas. And looking across the yard, let's see. It's always a work in progress. There's a car in the driveway. Wonder who that could be. Hope you know you're going on YouTube. It's Mariah and Marcy, my bestest friends. And that's the house in all its glory. The garden. Happy June.